Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another wondrous Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane. We'll be having a 1 vs 1 right here on the Minsk pocket. We shall be looking right here at Sedghammer fighting for Germany for the 68th Infantry Division with German Infantry Doctrine, Lightning War Doctrine, and Jaeger Infantry Doctrine. So rather infantry-heavy play here by the looks of things. Infantry company up, 2 grenadiers versus KeinMitleid, who's already gone straight on for Guards Rifle. I will also note he actually had combined arms, which is a doctrine I rarely see, but some players do seem to like it, in particular Steven as well. There might be something there, but for now he's actually going for Guard Rifle combined arms. Lots of conscripts on the way there. And back to Sedghammer. Grenadiers on the way. First squad is out, heading towards the center, towards fuel. The Grenadier arrive. German doctrine. I rarely see that one amongst the doctrines available. No, not bad. With artillery field officers, tactical movement, relief infantry, light artillery, biotics, and fragmentation bombs. Hardly bad. Lightning War, quite regular. Jaeger infantry also a bit rarer. So rather interesting combination here to see from Sedghammer, 2 of less often seen doctrines overall. 2 grenadiers there, MG42 following up for him there. Moving over there to secure some territory. Für das Vaterland. More conscripts moving out. No engagements, no, well, nothing really. So far anyways, a bit of an emphasis on the victory points. Fuel as well, 2 conscripts sorting down the center. MG42 has arrived. All a bit quiet here. 2 fully stocked conscript squads with their Mosin guns.
Territory secured.
And a slightly tilted flag post in the horizon. MG42 setting up here. Looks like he might be expecting something in note here. What he's doing, he's actually splitting up his conscripts, and there we go. One conscript squad gets engaged. What happens next, of course, is he then moves it on the far side of the expected traverse arc of it and flanks it nicely down there. That is how usually will come an MG42 on its own using 2 squads. You spread them out and then you sort of move from several angles. That is well played right there by KeinMitleid, ensuring that only 1 squad at a time gets suppressed and pinned if possible. That is usually how you want to do it. Continent secured. Comets moving up, engaging the Grenadiers. Grenadiers definitely a bit out exposed. Conscripts moving from that angle. Fuel point being secure there. Bit of a setback there initially for Sedghammer. A bit outplayed there initially by KeinMitleid's conscripts. Grenadiers making a charge here at the combat engineers. And quickly Boris drops like a sack of potatoes. MG42 now this time supported by some grenadiers, getting the conscript trying to defend the fuel point, but of course we see here already again due to the sort of way he's spread out, he can easily then dig in some conscript squads from another side, in fact several sides, so in fact we're seeing a bit of a pincer movement here by the looks of it, envelopment. Nicely played there again, the advantage of, well, making good use of your conscripts and not just hoarding them up. Instead swarming them in from several sides. The MG42 here clearly exposed, and in fact now heading further in, which might risk its retreat path. There we go, retreating in time, realizing that the situation is not good already here. Through good use of his conscripts, he's rather overwhelmed. Sedghammer, who rather did make one mistake, was that he spread out too far initially, which rather means, of course, he's very vulnerable to things like this. Definitely well played there by KeinMitleid, taking advantage of Sedghammer's mistake, although Sedge, of course, is harassing, taking territory, which is grand, but at the same time he's losing territory, he's getting cut off himself, and he's having a very hard time actually establishing more of a sort of ground footing. 4 Grenadier squads and 1 equipped with the lightest Maschinengewehrs 42.
We're under Soviet attack!
Conscripts there catching a lot of attention and shots from the Germans, going up to cover the flank to avoid the MG42 getting flanked once more. Pioneers joining in with the MP40s, also known as the Schmeiser, by the Allies that is. And we might in fact see an early loss here for KeinMitleid. There we go. In fact, the Pioneers did the job there. Gutes Arbeit, Pionieren. And he's in a bit of trouble. We're seeing mortars up being used quite effectively by KeinMitleid, burning away. Oh, lost the squad right there. How unfortunate. That was a bit tit for tat there. So any gains made by Sedghammer there was immediately lost as he lost one squad in return. Bit unfortunate. At least he's getting back ground. He's reconnecting, which means he gets all of this back, which will definitely be good for him. Conscripts there quickly retreating, realizing they don't want to end up as other friends. And Conscripts charging in towards the Scotch Grenadier positions up behind the overturned piece of wood. Another motive there, denying them cover, allowing the Conscripts to either disengage or moving close. Looks like in this case they take the opportunity to disengage from Sedghammer's troops. Moving on to another cut-off point. Sedghammer has no intention, or KeinMitleid has no intention of engaging the Grenadier squad with an MG42 like that one-on-one. Good decision there. Good tactical sense. This is a man who definitely knows to get the most out of his conscripts, at least a lot of them.
Pioneers!
Also quite a few resources being sort of hung around with here. He might want to sort of consider taking up soonish. Do something, or call in some Guards infantry. And we're seeing Jaeger infantry as a choice here for Sedghammer. Ambush, camouflage, and Gewehr Jaeger light infantry upgrades are available. We are seeing one upgrade already being handed out, which means of course some Gewehr for the Fries, but also some interrogation training.
Enemy troops attacking!
With the usual line of "we have ways to make you talk." Usually it's involved while shooting using your wounds. There we go, hit the dirt. Versus a Grenadier squad with an LMG, that might not necessarily work out so well. Mind you, again, it only gives light cover, and that close up, I mean, light cover only counts for that much when there's an MG42 pointing down your face.
Grenadiers! The enemy is taking our territory.
So there we go. He might want to actually use it to perhaps, if he can, interrogate some wounded, get some idea where the opponent's infantry is. And there we go, PPH-41s charging ahead. One of the best submachine guns in the war, if not the best actually. Nice rate of fire, nice range, nice accuracy overall. Pretty effective, though the Russians still sought to make one that was actually even cheaper and faster to make.
Pioneers have finished!
We are losing a sector.
There we go. Jaeger 10 Grenadiers moving in. Moving up, and there we go. Conscripts rushed off.
You found something?
Like to mechanized company up for Sedghammer. And there we go. In fact, we're seeing an immediate rush here for the Tank Battalion Command by KeinMitleid. So a minor armor rush might be what he's intending, though he's lacking the fuel. Of course, he could easily circumvent that by getting himself a fuel cache. That would not be a bad idea. And it is with the Gewehr MT43, MT42 being overwhelmed here a bit. Might want to be careful and definitely get out of there. This, in fact, is not going to be a situation they might have a chance of winning. Then again, with the Jaeger Grenadiers arriving, the tide has turned. And again, always remember, interrogation can give you an idea what your opponent is doing. More Gewehr for the free submachine gun. Conscripts are moving up. Grenadiers providing support for the Gewehr for the free brethren. A quick rifle grenade might be an idea. Conscripts flanking in. Out here, German infantry getting overwhelmed here. Nice play, nice play. Charging from several sides, getting the advantage here of the submachine guns and the motion guns. Grenadiers might get cut down the retreat. That would definitely be a bit unfortunate. Although we might see some. No, not the Panzers moving in to save them. Instead, it's the Pioneers here to save the day before they have to retreat. Another Grenadier squad here, not really equipped for handling this kind of fight. Need to get the devil out of there. A nice focused effort there on the western part of the map by KeinMitleid. Another Panzer Grenadier squad out here. Looks like the infantry division is getting in a lot of Panzer Grenadier from another unit. Going to the fuel point there, that's definitely going to delay the usefulness of the Tank Battalion Command here for Mitleid, unless of course he gets a T-70. Then again, if he gets a fuel cache, he will be a lot less vulnerable to something like this. Panzer Grenadiers move up. Engaging there, not rushing up to the match, engaging at medium range where their assault rifles will have the advantage over the now submachine gun equipped conscripts. And there we go, forcing them away, nicely done. MG42 holding up here nicely, but the Pioneers are falling apart, exposing the flank of the MG42. Oh dear. Happens also to me this, but you sort of turn to that and then you sort of forget, oh shit, they're pointing at a tree.
Medium armor and rocket artillery is now available.
And there we go, counter-harassment of the fuel port, and we're noting here ammunitions cache up. He's actually working with his doctrine. He's saying ammunitions cache to help the Jaeger infantry doctrine, which is one of the most munitions-intensive doctrines there are. Well played there, that is good strategic thinking there. And we're seeing 5 squads of conscripts, by the way, for KeinMitleid. 5 squads. Impressive, though I would have liked to see at least one guard rifle squad with some light machine guns. Pepper the fascists a bit, but apparently not. At least not for now. Give it for the free grenadiers moving up there, opening up on the conscripts, getting a few kills there.
Replacements have arrived. This is our sector now. Red Army.
Also, surprisingly enough, there doesn't seem to be any mines going down from KeinMitleid, which I would have perhaps expected. I mean, the way sort of occasionally dominate the map, you know, quick mine here and there could really do a lot to sort of hamper any progress from Sedghammer when trying to get things back on track. That I feel is a bit unfortunate.
The enemy is encroaching on our territory.
Lots of infantry sort of rushing across, and that looks like the Panzer gun list might have been cancelled, instead opting for the support armor core. Although it looks like our friend here, Mr. KeinMitleid, in fact, can now call in their T-34-76. Do it! Get the T-34-76.
The enemy is taking what we have secured.
You need something demolished?
More Gewehr for the fleets overall by the looks of it. Except for the Panzer Grenadier. Need to be careful, his front line is overextended again and rather vulnerable. We are seeing that KeinMitleid is taking advantage of this as quickly as possible. He can also actually lay down some tripwire flare mines, sort of make a bit unpleasant for his opponent to actually progress. Depending on either, and looks like Sedghammer's not upgraded his MG Grenadiers with some Jaeger infantry upgrades, which would further make them much more lethal. And they're going to fight 2, set up a bit riskily. Opening up point blank, but there we go, Molotov on the bastards.
The hard part will be keeping it.
And there you go, T-34 on the way on, following up with a field gun, perhaps expecting his opponent to get some armor as well, at least prepare for some support for the T-34-76. Nicely played there.
Gun is ready for combat. We have a new T-34.
By the way, not a bad idea, though. Maxim could also have been an idea earlier on to sort of, you know, impede the progress of Sedghammer's infantry as well. Country going up behind a tree. We're seeing a country fort ready to flank from the side. Good, good. A rifle grenade here might be an idea as well, but nope, they're charging in though. Charging across on ground against an MG's quick grenadier squad and some clear air for the 3 quick grenadiers is not necessarily the best idea. But there we go. Other squads were able to close in the meanwhile, and looks like the Jaeger grenadiers are overwhelmed, leaving behind only the MG grenadier.
Additional resources are now available to your commander.
And the T-34 arrives. Also, the howitzer has been available for KeinMitleid's usage.
We are losing supplies to the enemy.
Providing nice support there for infantry from nice far away.
Engineer standing by. Squad replenished.
And a Panzerkampfwagen has arrived in return. Taking the immediate hit from the T-34-76. Jaeger Grenadiers finding support, and we're seeing tactical movement up. Rushing in the Grenadiers to Panzerfaust, that's rather bold, but ultimately doesn't quite pay off. On the other hand, of course, you can use just speed troops up across other points, even if these Panzers rush in, but still, tactical movement used. Lovely. Also notice it affects stuff like the MGs as well, to move them faster. And all of a sudden, you can actually sort of progress across the map much swiftly, though in this case, it didn't seem to do as much out of it as it could have. Which is a bit of a shame, though again, rather seems like the only intended real effect was Panzerfaust T-34, which failed. Setting up Telemans there, but spotted, a bit unfortunate, but a nice idea. And ramming the Panzer IV. Oh, no. Looks like, shite, he did not make it out, and he's actually using incendiary armor piercing rounds, which can slightly work there against the side of the T-34, although it's obviously not going to knock out, but it will do a bit of damage. that's definitely an interesting move here by Sedghammer. The ultimate, he's going to have to pull back the MG42 before it's too late. There we go. Conscript pushing ahead with Molotovs and other goodies. Grenadiers though moving in to assist. A large Grenadier force, in fact. And then again, no, MG Grenadiers cannot shoot the MG on the move. More Panzerfaust. Looks like he's intending to knock that out. At the same time, there we go. Nice. Realize, of course, there's a large infantry forming up. He's bombarding it with his field gun. And he's getting another conscript board. After he's apparently lost one as well. So lots of conscripts here for KeinMitleid. Conscripts holding out a bit. Field gun here, risking getting overwhelmed. But we are seeing conscripts rushing in to the aid. And hitting the dirt as well. Looks like Sedghammer's rather successfully and forcefully pushing back KeinMitleid, taking most of the map in the progress.
Man down! Out! Soldiers ready.
There we go. More assault packages being handed out. Medic bank up as well. Field gun still standing, which is good for KeinMitleid.
There are no cowards here.
Less so for Sedghammer. Not really seeing him use much of his doctrine besides conscript assault packages and hit the dirt so far. I mean, if that's all he's going to be using, he might as well, get something like the conscript support doctrine instead. Or reserve army. Seems a little waste, to get guard rifle, not use the guard's rifle infantry or the howitzer, for example. I suspect the next thing to come up will be another T-34, another tank, and at the same time, as that happens, Sedghammer gets himself another Panzerkampfwagen 4. Telemine's up there, a bit worried about enemy armor. Good job there. And again, partly due to that munitions catch up, hemming in with munitions. Although it also helps he has 2 munitions points on top of that.
Objective secured.
Enemy forces capturing
Out of the way, hardly bad. Will definitely make it a bit harder for the T-34 to advance. Unimpeded.
Waiting order.
Large force moving up to counterattack in the west. Minor force in the right as well. Not really as much there. Also not much enemy opposition. KeinMitleid launching a larger assault in the centre. Panzer upon him before shooting his best to hold it up. Needs to be a bit careful. Field and also arriving. T-34 already. And there you go. The conscripts in the west flank pushed away with nasty losses. Panzer 4 with a damaged engine. MG42 forced to pull back, and looks like someone lost a life up here to the combat engine. So the flamethrowers, the pioneers could rush up. All the gunners could just continue to fight away here. Again, GBR-43s would have helped them a bit, but no. Combat engine retreat. Gunners flanking in. Good job there, falling into KeinMitleid's positions. Rear, hitting the dirt right in front of them. T-34 ramming slow. This will all of a sudden turn against Sedghammer's Grenadier, and there we go. Rifle grenades going in. Grenadiers need to retreat. Oh! Just as they gained veteran free, looks like, yes, they went down. Definitely lost there to Sedghammer. That's going to hurt. Panzer IV receiving vital repairs as KeinMitleid pushes forward. He's going to need some repairs on that T-34 soon. And again, a fuel catch might be an idea. Otherwise, the howitzer will also... Oh, he's finally getting machine gun as well. Finally getting machine gun. I mean, he's been playing with a rather shallow force in terms of force composition. Most of the infantry, a single field gun, and a T-34 too. Compared to the more varied force being deployed here by Sedghammer. Veteran T3 conscripts. Grenadiers flanking in. Charging in for Deutschland. Need to be careful, they're around their own mines. sad the T-34's not moved into the teller mines. Oh! There we go. Be careful about your own mines. They might set off like that, almost wiping out the entire squad. That was a bit unfortunate. Field gun though did get cleared out. Another one that was arriving. MG4 sending up to support. So the T-34's likely to go down. He needs to be careful about them, and he needs to build up a larger force. And again, a fuel cache would help that.
Another vehicle has been lost in the defense of the Rodina.
Now his conscience is getting caught up in a rather vicious volley. And then go recruiting the field gun. Hoping to get one good shot off there on the Panzer IV before it's lost. But no, the flamethrower pioneers did not make it in time. And the Panzer IV was cooked off.
More of our troops have been lost.
Rather unfortunate that. A rather brutal series of engagements. Back to Sedghammer. Who is quick to get some replacement grenadiers. That is good.
Standing by.
And there you go. The Maxim fires away.
That's everyone. Grenadiers ready.
Another field gun arriving. And again, lots and lots of conscripts for KeinMitleid. And unlike this artillery barrage going in. There we go. Nice hit there. Oh, he might even get the Maxim. No. Looks like the last one pulls a Boris gun. Run, Boris, run. The forest explodes around you.
Pioneers. HMG here.
And save the Maxim. This is vital property of the Soviet state. Panzer's here though. Ow, getting absolutely overwhelmed. He got a bit. Oh, the bomb grenade might have saved him. Might have. No, never mind.
Infantry squad has been killed.
He was caught here by a nice counter-harassment attempt, to put it mildly. And again, Sedghammer doesn't seem to be careful about spreading out his infantry too much. Troops charging in there, attempting to finish the teller mine, but once more might be forced to vacate and pull back.
Enemy troops attacking. Pioneers reporting.
No, he actually decides to finish it. He decides to try and finish it. Oh, he's pushing his luck. Oh, there we go. Lost the pioneers. Rather unfortunate.
Our opponents are seizing the sector.
Troops rushing straight into the MG42. Very close. And there we go. Field gun uses barrel artillery. Good job. Good job. Veterans flee, but the MG42 will be forced to pull back. Looks like another T-34 might soon be inbound just as Sedghammer gets another Panzer. Oh no, Stuke, no, Panzer IV. Make up your mind, Sedghammer. Also looks like he's already checked up to phase 3. Interesting, interesting.
The enemy is taking our territory.
Counterattack moving in. Grenadiers getting upgraded. About damn time. Also, no sign of, for example, the ambush camouflage upgrade, which could be helpful in particular for the MG42, as it does give them a damage bonus as they pop out of it. And for example, an MG42 really becomes nice with that. And there we go! Field barrage from the German field gun. Nicely done there, nicely done and nicely placed. Suddenly stops the veteran 3 countries to advancing. And these are getting overwhelmed again. 4-6, Sedghammer. Die Russen werden dich jetzt erben. It looks like he's got himself a Pak 40 as well. Perhaps a bit worried, more than usual, about Soviet armor movement. Hiding in the long grass. And there we go. A third Panzerkampfwagen 4, perhaps with a longer lifespan than the previous ones. Same thing for the T-34 KeinMitleid that's pulled up. Another barrage there on the Maxim this time around.
Enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
Oh, the Panzer IV wrecked the gun! which is already taking quite a bit of damage, I suppose, no surprise there. Panzer IV not under fire, needs to pull back. Field gun is blasting away at it from a nice safe range, and there go T-34 rhyming as well. Veterans U1 allows for tracking. Careful, Sedghammer. T-34 getting bombarded in return by German anti-tank weapons. Map though is slowly dividing up between the two once more in a 50-50 split.
How can we help?
Troops are reinforcing. And the left flank once more finds itself exposed. Could be an idea for Sedghammer to actually lay down an S minefield around here. But the MD-42 apparently is here to save the day. Nice hit from the Panzer IV right there. Conscript sending in for the Molotov on the MD-42. Most of them seem to be hanging right on the base. Rest is moving up there.
Yes?
Still no Jaeger infantry update for the Grenadiers with the MG. I would have liked to see that. Conscript's moving up there and just taking an absolute beating of some proportions.
You need something built or blown up?
Could he be saving up for something from the heavy Panzer Corps? Getting some additional pioneers, that's definitely not a bad idea. That would speed up repairs of the Panzer, which is, by the way, not looking too good. He should definitely consider pulling back from the front lines. And get it fixed up again.
Pioneers ready for assignment.
Right flank seeing some action, west flank seeing some action.
Lecture complete.
Additional pioneers, looks like no heavy Panzer Corps. I mean, why did he then go for it so early this upgrade if he isn't actually going to use it? Seems a bit awkward. A bit of a waste of resources. It is still 200 manpower and 50 fuel.
We have secured
That's
the
hardly, you
sector.
know, nothing.
We have a new Panzer IV.
Second Panzer IV arriving, another T-34 arriving now. So finally they're both building up something of a larger armoured force. Though again, I think that KeinMitleid could do a bit more sort of build up fast again with a few cash. There we go, large infantry assault going in from several sides as possible. Trying to overwhelm the MD-42. Roaring in, but getting caught right in front of it. Point blank there, it's not good to be caught in front of a veterans fleet. MD-42 is definitely making short work of the poor devils. Panzer IV moving in. T-34's flanking, avoiding the mines just barely there. Tank 4 Panzer IV. Field gun moving up. One T-34 down. Light artillery barrage going down to cover up one part of the front. Both T-34s look to have gone down. That's unfortunate. Veteran D2 for the Soviet field gun. Increasing his radar fire, there we go, tracking. Oh, the other Panzer IV barely made it out of there. With another field gun moving up.
Securing our territory.
That was definitely not a good engagement for KeinMitleid.
You need something?
His forces were sledgehammered by Sedghammer's panzer. Surprisingly, he's not really trying much anymore, sort of attack up the flanks. I mean, a few T-34s moving up here could cause a lot of harm as they roll up the alongside right flank, and again it would have forced Sedghammer to spread out his forces a bit more than it is, instead actually flanking in instead.
We have a full light artillery barrage at your command.
Also not a bad idea to actually set up what looks like it's going to be a machine gun bunker to cover up this side. Would in fact force KeinMitleid to have to detach larger force again, sort of break through there.
Einsatzbereit.
Additional Panzer Grenadier on the way.
Requested units have arrived.
Enemy squad attacking!
Another bit of incendiary fishing lines. Oh! Good lord!
He has killed a machine gun crew.
He should have probably prepared that, but the field gun crew actually managed to wipe it out with a direct hit there.
Ivan! And he shoots at
That's impressively rare.
We have been promoted.
And he's actually using tracking on his own field gun.
Forward structure under attack.
Clever. Then he's fighting versus conscripts over here. Who will win this fight? Molotov's already ranging in. Then he's taking heavy losses. And so field guns are bombarding. And we're seeing him bombarding in return, but instead ultimately getting it wiped out. Sedghammer's forces are suffering some tragic losses, and I do believe it's actually time for the game analysis. Current situation is a rather 50-50-ish split of the map, perhaps with a slight advantage to Sedghammer at the moment in terms of territorial control. And then he's just lost a lot of vital support units. He's down to just having infantry and pioneers and a pair of panzers, which is largely almost the same sort of force. Hang on there. The exact same sort of force. My tongue got tied up. His opponent's holding up there, except with some field guns, which does mean he does again have something that can work as an anti-tank, but also artillery, and he's really making good use of the field guns as artillery, which is actually a bit rare to see. But of course, should be a bit wary about just charging into Sedghammer's line. On the other hand, again, Sedghammer keeps spreading things out, which could easily be to the advantage of KeinMitleid if he pushes in the correct places. Though again, he should also consider getting up some damn mines. Oh, this was an upgrade in time. That's going to be cleared out by those combat engineers. Mark my words. Currently, the situation might be that the front line here will collapse under the assault of KeinMitleid. Also, in terms of damage, Sedghammer is leading and also in kills. There's nice, noticeable distance there. In fact, they're not huge, and again, looks like KeinMitleid will be able to push through rather vigorously if he's not doing that. Again, there's a chance of something from the heavy Panzer Corps if he actually built it. I mean, if he does that, and for example now getting a Sturm Panzer 4, that can actually really do some serious harm to KeinMitleid's infantry. That would definitely be a huge threat, even to the field guns. So that would definitely be a nice consideration for him to consider there, if one was to acquire with me. Currently, though, another MG42 might be an idea. Some infantry, perhaps a mortar to sort of help fortify the front line once more, and some more flanking assaults. You should definitely take the Panzer Force, build them up, and then sort of try to sort of outflank the Soviet position here with the field guns and whatnot, knocking them out that way. That could probably prove to be quite helpful, to say the least. So there is that. And a machine gun bunker up here would not be a bad idea either, since again that would force him to attach something up there to deal with it, if he manages to upgrade in time. Popping out to KeinMitleid, who's got quite the infantry force. In fact, he's got 5 squads of conscripts, some commandos, and 2 field guns, one of them veteran too. On the other hand, he's lacking a bit in armour. And again, I really would like for him to get up a field cast, sort of help speed up the process. That would be a nice start. Getting some guards infantry also be an idea. And also something else you might want to consider is a half-track to reinforce his forces at the front line, allowing him to keep the pressure up much easier. Also to involve field guns at the front line, that way again being harder to push off the field. Overall, I think that would be a really, really nice move for KeinMitleid. And munitions cache would also be an idea to sort of help with the light artillery barrage munitions costs. So there are definitely a few options, but I also think he needs to pressure harder on the flanks. He needs to extend Sedghammer, which again, Sedghammer can apparently do a bit. So again, if he tempts him into doing it, that could easily prove to be the point where KeinMitleid then pulls off another successful breakthrough and crushes Sedghammer perhaps permanently. So again, for Sedghammer, there's also going to be a part about you not extending out too far, not spreading out too far. And again, for KeinMitleid, that is what he wants Sedghammer to do. And needs to be careful about just charging down one particular strip of land, where again, then Sedghammer can point down his most powerful weapons and tear him up. Like for example, these kind of deals, which still have been upgraded with the Jaeger 43 upgrade. I'm still surprised at that. But let's return to the fight here. The Russians charging ahead. Lots of veterans, 3 infantry by now.
Ready and willing.
India suffering losses. Trying to outflank here, they're going to encounter that Panzer 4. 30 kills here on these grenadiers, or close to it anyways. Definitely nothing to scoff at. Field gun moving up, Panzer 4 needs to be careful, be careful. Field gun firing up, point close, and there we go. Veterans, he's fleeing creature, going to find creature, penetrating, that is bad news. Very bad news. There we go, Panzer 4 kaput. Looks like an attempt at a upgrade on it, clearing it out. Good job there, but he might lose the veteran grenadiers with an MG in return. No, Pulls out of their Panzers, suffer immediate loss there to direct hit from the field goods armor-piercing rounds.
Aim fire on this position!
Taking fire under attack!
The situation is chaotic, a bit to say the least. T-34 rolling up.
The enemy is taking what we have secured.
Open up on us!
Can the T-34 arrive to save the field gun crew? Or will it be all for naught?
Enemy contact!
Sadly, they did not survive the ravages of the Germans. 2nd Panther 4 arriving here, moving up. Almost stretching the 2, by the way, and that would have proved helpful if it could hit that.
Conscripts here!
Just all of these conscripts, so many of them.
Replacements have arrived!
This territory is ours.
Oh dear, don't leave it up like that, Sedghammer. Don't leave it at the front line alone. That will do you no good. Sounds like there's someone's just shooting. Oh, at the bunker.
100 points. Do not
Down, I
let
thought
this
there was an
trend
actual
continue.
engagement going on. God damn you Russians. And then go finally the heavy panzer corps is going up about half an hour into the game. Of course not saying to get it away, but again though, he could then have waited with getting the 4th tier. That was really what he went against it. Just thinking. And oh dear! T-34 rammed in, managed to knock out the engine and the main gun on the Panzer 4. Panzer 4 gets stretched in 2, but likely will go down to the field gun. And he's simply got no infantry at the front line. Where is it? Get it up there. And we see another tactical movement. He's rushing his infantry ahead. Trying his best to get there in time. Or to protect his rear line behind the Panzer 4 with all his anti-tank weaponry. But certainly the Panzer 4 does not make it out of there alive. A tragic loss. But the Grenadiers nonetheless managed to stall the Russians from taking the field point, or at least prevent it completely, if he's even luckier than that. Pushing up ahead. A large infantry fight breaks out here in the centre as German infantry counterattacks vigorously. Conscripts rushing in, hoping to do some damage here. Hitting the dirt overall. A war of attrition has begun here in the southern forests of Minsk. Conscripts being pushed back left and right. Unable to overcome the Germans with a great amount of firepower. And there we go. A full retreat from KeinMitleid's infantry.
We have it!
We are losing territory.
Victory points, by the way, are ticking down for KeinMitleid. Again, mines would be helpful, but again, I'm not seeing anyone at all. That's rather unfortunate and not really good. Oh, field gun barrage! Oh, gets one of the grenadiers for the MG.
Your predecessor died!
Oh, and gets him on the retreat. That field gun barrage definitely paid itself off. So all of a sudden, Sedghammer's once more 1 squad short.
Enemy forces are capturing our
The bunker is
supplies.
still standing there, not upgraded or anything. Just a hole in the ground with some boards in it. Conscripts rushing in on their own, a bit slowly, but managed to quickly overtake the Panzer Grenadiers. Bun grenade as a parting gift, and there we go. Pioneers forced, or then the Conscript forced to pull back. The Pioneers are there for some reason. Not sure why I mentioned them. Oh dear, accidentally moving ahead its guns. He needs more infantry, but what is this? A Panzerkampfwagen 5 has been rushed in from a Panzer division. Probably the same one that provided the Panzer Force. Field gun here might get overwhelmed and retaken by the Soviets. There we go, Panzerkampfwagen 5 pulling forwards.
Enemy forces capturing supply sectors.
Light barrage going down there. All victory points.
The sector is at risk.
And harassing that far away victory point as well. Keeping up the pressure there. That is good. That is very good.
T-34.
So you should be careful about having that Panzer out there by his own on the front line. things could easily get very ugly if he's not careful. There we go, he's keeping a respectful distance, ensuring he doesn't get easily outmaneuvered with it. Then moves it ahead again, careful, careful. And there we go, straight into the line of fire of the field guns, finding way, gaining veteran 2.1 in fact. All of a sudden the Panthers already down to half health after basically 2 volleys from 2 field guns. Do not underestimate the power of field guns for that matter.
Supply sector under attack.
Flamethrowers here burning away.
Count is increasing.
It looks like the Pioneers are easily going to get overwhelmed and killed. Bit of a waste of good Pioneers, to be honest. And those Pioneers couldn't have been used to repair the Panther. Now engaging over the Grenadiers and conscripts. Pushing up the right flank about damn time as well. Immediately counting some Panzer Grenadiere. Hitting the dirt there in response. Molotoving off, fun grenade. Quick retreat. T-34 up once more, missing 6 squads of conscripts. Not a single guards rifle squad or anything else. Again, I rather feel he might be playing a bit too shallowly in terms of unit composition. He could easily do with more units, a bit more variety. A half-track would be good. A T-70, you could get a mechanized armor Campanella, for example, instead. Get out the KoH2 or some SU-76s or an SU-85, something else to just this, because again, it's rather leaving him a lot more limited than his opponent, who's playing out with the overall more varied force. And overall got more things to hit with. And there you go, now adding in some artillery, a Panzerwerfer. Conscripts there, taking a beating. Panther once more getting blasted away at. Nice attempt there, the Molotov on the field gun doesn't quite pull off. In fact, might lose the conscripts brought there to the Panther. And there we go, the Panzerwerfer fires all 10 rockets. Straight on the field guns. At the same time, he called in the field gun like artillery barrage. Apparently didn't pay attention, or because of the rockets, by the way. Looks like the field gun, there we go, cleared out. Good lord! Both field gun crews are dead! Quick rushing in, some conscripts to recruit. And a light artillery barrage there from the field gun as well. T-34 moves straight into the Panther. Immediately ramming in other field gun running support. Oh, but the engine overheated. No luck there, it would seem. Panzer Grenadiers flanking Grenadiers overwhelming the field gun. Another barrage from the Panzerwerfer. And there we go, heavy losses on the infantry, clearing out both field guns.
Combat engineers.
Both field guns right there. And looks like the T-34 is about to go down. The Panther moves in for the killing blow, the coup de grace. Anti-tank grenade though hits the engine block. The Panther's barely operational. He's forced to pull back. One hit though from the T-34 in fact could blow it up. So wisely decided there. The situation is looking a bit rough all of a sudden. T-34 receiving repairs from a veteran 2 combat year squad. That'll definitely speed things up a bit. Pioneers need to get out there as well. Definitely should not waste the veteran 2 Pioneer squad on that. That should be used for repairing the Panther alongside some other Pioneers. Panzerwerfers, by the way, were pretty much also only used by Panzer divisions. Otherwise, it would have been Nebelwerfers, though they usually hand out more on an independent basis in Nebelwerfer Bataillonen. In varying sizes, the 15 centimeter basically was the smallest. The biggest one was the 30 centimeter Nebelwerfer, I believe. No, that's actually 32 centimeter, I believe. Not sure why he stopped repairing the T-34. Might have been a mistake there by KeinMitleid. Back to Sedghammer though. Back to Sedghammer. Might be getting something big soon. You could easily get another Panther, but you could also get a Sturmpanzer 4. Pack 40 there, but not sure why he moved ahead like that. And again, he's very short in infantry now. He actually needs to get a lot more infantry now, otherwise he's Going to test some togs and looks like the T-30 is going to go down again. Not sure why I did that. Not sure why I did it at all. That was definitely a bad idea. But now we're really seeing the advantage from KeinMitleid infantry just charging across all the front line, and he's got very little to back with. All the surprise he's not cleared out this. Seems like KeinMitleid is a bit too happy about just resorting to frontal assault. In fact, he's constantly right there taking a brutal, vicious beating. And looks, oh my goodness, the Pioneer constantly have a flamethrower from the Germans. And a Storm Panzer IV is actually arriving. Needs to keep up the pressure on the flanks as well. He needs to take away as much territory as possible from Sedghammer.
Our opponents are seizing a sector. You need Pioneer squad.
And those Vetri 2 Pioneers also need to work on the Panther.
You have a rocket target? Panzer here.
Alternate idea would actually be to use the T-34 to flank from either here or here, and then actually try to catch the Panzerwerfer and wipe it out. The frontal assault will obviously only run into, well, several prepared anti-tank and field guns, and of course the Panzerkampfwagen 5 Panther Panzer. Pride of the fatherland. And there we go. The Storm Panzer IV with its 15 centimeter howitzer mounted and 100mm frontal armor.
The enemy is attacking one of our forward buildings.
That's definitely going to be bad news for KeinMitleid's infantry. And for that matter, might even give the tanks a bit of a heading. There we go. One hit, didn't do much though. Light cover helped a bit there. Ramming in, knocking out the main gun. That was definitely a bit lucky there. Storm Panzer IV Mark 1 to turn against field guns, of course. And again, you know, the one with the charging it directly will only result straight into the field guns. He should have known they were there by now. He had one of the infantry actually pull off some fire from them. So this is actually a bit of an odd choice from KeinMitleid. A bit of a waste, in fact. At least he should have had a howitzer up to bombard these positions before. Or the strafing run. Instead, he set it up like this. Looks like that while KeinMitleid is strong with infantry, he's not very strong with tanks. There we go, T-34 down. Heavy loss then inflict the Panzerwerfer continues to fire away, gaining veterans 1.
What do you need? We have seized it. Orders. The Soviets are attacking.
There we go, nice hit on the T-34.
Our opponents are seizing a sector.
Almost wiping it out there. Field gun setting up. There we go, the crew did not survive. The 15 centimeter high special shell launched from that Sturm Panzer.
This is now German territory.
Pioneers fighting on their own over there. Panzerwerfer slowly moving ahead. Getting a sniper now all of a sudden. Seems a bit odd. Still no more infantry. And the infantry will definitely make short work of the Pioneers. A bit of a shame about them. Also no pencil mounted machine gun for some reason for the Storm Panzer. Well, that would definitely help that as well. T-34 moving ahead, straight into the Storm Panzer IV. Managed to shock the crew there. Panther gets off a nice hit, blitzing in. T-34 in fact almost going down there. Might go down to the Panther, no. Oh, it escaped. There we go, Conscript taking one hell of a hit there. 4 men down in one shot from the Storm Panzer IV. Took a bit of damage, ultimately they survived, although I'm sure their eardrums are gone from that explosion. Desperately trying to hold on to the victory points. Still no upgrade on that one. Why did they then build the bunker? One feels compelled to inquire.
Structure under attack. Pioneers awaiting orders.
Panzerwerfer continues to fire away. Just mostly blows up some dirt though.
Sniper reporting.
And sniper on the prowl.
Pioneers awaiting orders.
Panzer Grenadiers.
Down to one squad of infantry. Come on, Sedghammer. Get some more infanterie.
How can we help? The enemy is attacking one of our forward buildings.
Fresh field guns arriving. And there we go, T-34 down. Sturmpanzer 4 got it victoriously.
The enemy is attempting to steal our sector. We have a forward structure under attack. Pioneers ready for Panzer here.
Standing by.
And Panzerwerfer opening up the infantry, actually getting some kills this time around, almost wiping out the entire unit. Infantry field guns moving ahead, Sturmpanzer 4 moving in. There we go! Half the gun crew gone.
Enemy has engaged us.
So infantry advancing across the light telegraph going down to cover the retreat. Kills inflicted. Whoops, not sure that was being from.
Don't let them.
Panzerwerfer might be in trouble, infantry closing out there. Sturmpanzer 4 just wipes them out, leaving only one man alive, gaining veterans one in the process. Field gun bombards away. Conscripts flanking in, but taking further losses. Carnage ensues. Panther needs some support. That Sturmpanzer needs to get out there quickly. Field guns barraging the other field gun, but can't seem to quite hit.
Trying to hit us from the rear.
Whatever's gone wrong there with the gunner, I don't know. Must be drunk or panicked. There we go, Sturmpanzer 4 clears it out, although barely working, barely functional.
Grenade!
We took out an anti-tank crew.
Light artillery barrage.
The only
ready
thing
to
keeping
roll.
that Sturmpanzer 4 together is sauerkraut and beer.
Kampfwagen is ready. Panzerwerfer is ready. Standing by.
Well, that definitely did alright.
778604 is taken. Ja?
Heavy Panzer, ready for orders.
But it is going to need some serious repairs, nursing additional pioneers on the way for Sedghammer. Again, if you need more infantry. Quickly pushing ahead there, Mr. KeinMitleid. But still, I feel like he's lacking a slightly more varied force, a broader force. The one with practically only conscripts and field guns is a bit too narrow, and in particular, considering what his opponent is launching against them, I mean, again, that's a more varied force overall.
You have a rocket target?
Finally receiving some additional grenadiers. Having them out in the field.
Yeah.
Ready!
Enemy Soldaten!
And there we go, another Panzerwerfer barrage. That field gun is not having much luck with its crews, staying alive for longer than a few minutes at a time. Half grenade turned the tide there.
Heavy Panzer, ready for orders. Panzerwerfer is ready for action. How can we help? You need something?
Panther and Sturmpanzer 4 almost ready once more for another push for Deutschland. But back to KeinMitleid. With his 6th conscript squads, 2 field guns and another T-34. Again, he ultimately does seem to get much out of those T-34s, and one wonders if perhaps might not have had more success with the mechanized armor company and S-35s instead. Perhaps a Katusha to back it up. And the Panzerwerfer does it again, without fail. Sturmpanzer 4 once more ready to take to the front.
Engaged! We must hold the enemy. We are down to our last 25 points.
And these doing what they can to hold that victory point, and so is KeinMitleid trying his best to get them back.
We are ready to go, comrades.
Our
Territory is falling into enemy hands.
Field gun exposed and utterly wiped out. The Sturmpanzer 4 does it again.
We are taking losses! I am getting
Mech clearing up fortified positions and buildings,
We are bleeding,
and basically deployed in sort of more independent battalions to attach where we need it. There we go, they're ramming but only stunning it.
The enemy is about to defeat us. We have only 10 points remaining.
10 points remaining, not good at all. And that looks like GG. There we go, game over, a victory for Germany, a loss for the Soviet Union. Some pretty brutal fighting which saw the Sturmpanzer 4 out, the Panzerwerfer, and actually saw Jaeger infantry doctrine being used for more than just the Jaeger upgrade itself, but also for tactical movement and light artillery barrages. I would have liked to see the ambush a bit, though, and I can understand why I didn't go for the Stuka strafing run, because, well, there was nothing to really use it on. So, of course, that both players though might want to work on their armor, although overall, I mean, Sedghammer did seem to utilize his armor a bit better as the game progressed, but still with his Panzer IVs slightly a bit shaky there. He used them a bit too much like they were Tigers, which obviously weren't. And in particular, KeinMitleid needs to work better on his CFA force. They were definitely wasting much to send in piecemeal, not properly supported, or just wasted at times, and certainly not using them very aggressively to flank, which is rather where they sort of work better. And overall, while he played well with infantry, again, his force was much too shallow, not enough varied, certainly not a good force composition in the longer run. And also, overall, he didn't really flank much. He didn't try to sort of push the rest of the map very aggressively. Didn't try to draw out his opponent. A lack of mines also hurt him. And again, he should have gone either for fuel cache or ammunition cache or something else. And he would also benefit from perhaps spending out to get another building, either Special Arrived Command or the Mechanized Armored Company. That way, getting a broader force as well. I mean, there are a lot of considerations there, but overall, KeinMitleid should have had more varied force, and he should have made better use of his tanks or something else. Also, no guard weapons. In fact, he made not very good use of his doctrine either, besides, submachine guns and hitting the dirt at the right times. But again, he could have done a lot more with a strafing run or a howitzer as well. So there are definitely some problems there with Sedghammer and how he actually utilised what he had at his disposal. He was good again at using the conscripts, but that seemed to be overall it in the long run, which ultimately is how Sedghammer with a slightly more varied force was able to overcome him. So, there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned a thing or two or three. If you did, why not subscribe to your friends? If you didn't, well, why not provide some feedback in the comments. This is Imperial Dane saying cheers.